back in November last year, Bruce and I submitted a request to Coyote Buttes, the Bureau of Land Management, to try to get a permit for hiking to the way. They give 10 permits out per day for the world. So we tried it, and they do it 4 months in advance. You have to submit your request. At the end of that month, they pick 10 lucky people for 4 months in advance to hike to the way. So anyway, Bruce, and it cost $5 and we wouldn't get that back. So Bruce sent me an email after the drawing, and he got his rejection letter and saying sorry. So I looked at mine, and I called him up and left him a voicemail and said, I'm sorry you didn't get picked, but I did. So it ended up that Betty, Bruce, Pat, Becky, and Shelley and I went down to the Kanab, Utah area, and Bruce's brother also went along, Scott. He didn't have a permit, but he was going along to do the hiking to other places where we were. And so everybody gets a chance the day before a hike to put their name in for a drawing right there at the BLM office. And they use a bingo wheel, and a number drops down from 1 to 6. Because 6 is the most you can request out of the 10 permits. So number 1 fell down, and Bruce's brother Scott got his name picked, so he was able to hike with us. So just amazing. But anyway, we're going to talk about that now. The only time that you would want to do this hike would be in the months of March and April, or again, late September and October, because in the summertime, it kills. It's so hot down there. They even hand you, or send you one of these warnings, warning heat kills. 2 people died there in the last 2 years from the heat. And this is my permit. It's a bright hot pink permit. You had to wear it on your backpack, and it says for 6 people. The wind was so strong out there, it ripped it right off my backpack, and it blew down the hill, and Shelley went down and got it. Because we could have been thrown out if I didn't have the permit. And then I'll pass around this map with directions on how you get out there. So we're going to start our presentation, but we left on a Sunday, drove to Salt Lake, stayed overnight, drove the rest of the way the next morning. And then coming home, we pretty much drove that same amount of time. It was a long drive, but it was worth it. So we'll start our presentation. Oh, first off, I think we need to show, when you get out there to the wave, you're so wound up and so excited that you just kind of go into euphoria. So we're going to show how we were surfing the wave. So everybody has to surf for our pictures.
I don't remember.
You know, we were just doing all our different poses. And then we got out there and we all said, yay. So you'll see that on the pictures too. But anyway, we'll show you the presentation now. So these are some fun facts. The miles driven was 2,690 miles round trip to hike 19 miles in 4 days. And the heart of Kanab is where we spent most of our time between there and to the right over by Lake Powell. Everything we did. It's coral pink sand dunes. We did that the first day we arrived there. And it's a small version of Death Valley sand dunes. It's all sandstone formations. And this is all the north rim of the Grand Canyon, that area. It's one of the 2 dunes.
Hi, Becky.
That would be Becky.
That's Sasquatch.
Even though it was in April, it was still pretty warm. And sandstone, the sun just radiates off and right back at you.
What's that fence for? Is that,
That's to kind of help it from all drifting away.
is it?
This is west of Kanab where we stayed. And of course, we had to go up there and ski down. It's hard walking in that.
I was just gonna say, it looks like it's not.
Going.
So this is petrified sand dunes, it's cross bedding, and it's when we were leaving Coral King Sand Dunes and heading back to Kanab. The scenery was just phenomenal the whole trip. That's a pack rat nest.
Does that have a name?
Everything we saw looked like hamburgers to us.
That formation have a name, Trudy?
No, they're just all over the place. No, it's just all sand dunes that are
1, 2, 3.
petrified in time with water. And Grand Staircase Escalante, it's different layers of sandstone. And there's over 1,000 feet deep of dinosaur bones. And the National Geographic has a group right now that's out there, a place undisclosed out there, where they're digging up a lot of the fossils, bones. These are some beautiful flowers that Pat took along the way, took pictures of. This is walking out to those toadstool formations.
At that point, some of Trudy's friends from Arizona joined us, and they have all taken numerous geology courses. So we all kind of had our own geologists helping us out.
That's Scott.
That's my brother Scott. Just balanced.
Yeah, 4 of my friends drove up from Arizona to meet us there, and they were trying the day before to get the permit. They weren't successful. But we hiked it with, Eddie and I hiked it with them before. Shelley and Becky, and then that's my friends up top. And they came up here already, 2 of them, and some of them want to come back and they want to hike with the club while they're up here.
Trudy, is this particular trail restricted as well?
No, no. You just park at a little pull off on the road, and this is at the 19-mile milepost coming out of the Lake Powell area on Utah Highway 89, and you just pull off and park there, and you just walk back about a half a mile and then climb up that little area, and you get out to these toadstools. That's my Arizona friends. That didn't look that hard getting up there, but it was.
It looks hard.
We were trying to get up to a toadstool that was sticking out from the side of the formations, but we never did get up there. We couldn't even find it once we got this far.
What was it, in the 70s or was it?
This was in the mid-70s, but then the day we did the wave, it went up to about 82, and it didn't sound hot. Now, a lot of us thought this looked like a dino, Becky. And these toadstools form just by the different ways a certain layer of sandstone erodes.
Sparta rock up there.
Yeah.
You could name that.
We walked, after that flat part, we came down from the part we climbed up and then walked across and went around the bend, and it looked like this little toadstool nursery or something. They were just all real little ones back there.
That all done by the wind eating away that sandstone?
Erosion.
Wind and water, rain.
Wind and water.
you free
sandstone
to-
really erodes easy.
Are you free to roam, or you're supposed to
Yes,
stay
you're
on path?
free to roam. You're free to roam there. This is called Grand Staircase Escalante, and that's out there somewhere is where all the dinosaur bones are. Now we're walking down this path, we're down in Arizona, and you wouldn't think you'd see anything there. It just looks like a crack in the ground, but when you get out there, it's Horseshoe Bend, and the Colorado River goes there, and that's where the river runners go. There. And that's just about 20 miles south of Page, Arizona. Becky and Shelley. And you don't really see that till you get out there to the edge of the rocks. That's my friend Margie looking over. That's the proper way.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's the way I am.
And those are two of the big rafts running the river.
Is this below Lake Powell or?
It is. It's below Lake Powell. It's in Arizona on Highway 89. What? This was just a picture taken out at the edge, looking out. You can see that rock out in the top part on the right. Becky and Bruce and Shelley went and walked up there. Some of us, other ones stayed below and just waited. Bruce and Shelley and Bruce and Scott. And there's a butterfly there that Pat took a picture of. It's just gorgeous. That's them walking up there. Now we're going to Lower Antelope Canyon. And that's a slot canyon that you go down and you walk through. And in the background there are 3 towers from the generating station.
That's smokestacks from the generating station.
Smokestacks. Those are our shadows going down into the canyon. It's really narrow, but it was awesome.
Oh.
This place is known for flash floods.
Yeah.
Yes.
I bet, yeah.
If there's a rainstorm within 50 miles, you just don't go.
What do you do then? Do you get any warning if there is one coming?
You run fast.
Yeah. And also, I mean, there were 7 people from France died here probably around 2000. And it's on the Navajo reservation, so now they have rope ladders to put down. And also they have, the way we went in this time was actually the way you can go out also. Before that, you went in one way and come out the same way.
I never found one of the bodies.
No.
yet.
Right.
No.
Mhm.
And it depends on what time of the day and the way the sun shines is the brightness and the different colors of the sandstone. It's supposed to be 10 seconds. I don't know what's. And you walk through that little path at the bottom.
They look like paintings.
Yeah, don't they?
Yeah.
Modern art.
Yeah.
How long would you say that trail was, that little path? About less than a mile?
I think it was 3/4 of a mile.
3/4 of a mile. That's our guide that took us through there, and then this is the way we went out. When you come out, it's such a narrow thing, you have to squeeze out sideways, and you have to walk sideways to get out the rest of the way.
That's a flute he's playing
Yeah.
as we're climbing up the ladder.
There we're coming out.
That's where you come out.
Wow. Very much true.
And just standing up there, you'd never know what was down there. Now we're getting ready to, our Coyote Buttes, the main reason we went there, to go to the wave. That's my permit, and then the map. Now this is the day, we went the day before, and Scott's standing there in the doorway, waiting to hear if his name was gonna get picked. That whole room was hopefuls, trying to get the extra permits. My friend Sandy's sitting there in the blue jacket in the front, and they were not successful.
Some people spend the whole week of
Trying.
vacation, they're trying to get a permit. They say you
Yeah,
have a
this is where
5,
they picked Scott's name.
That's
can
where
see
you
the
find out he
smile on
got
his
it.
face.
you have a 5% chance of getting picked.
These are my friends on the left standing
And he
there.
got picked on the first draw.
I even had a shirt made for him, and even if he didn't get to hike there. And he got the green permit because it was like from the day before. Now that's where we started out, where it says Wire Pass Trailhead in the upper left. That's where we parked. Then we walked all along like where the blue line would be out to the wave. That's us starting out with my bright pink pass permit. And they patrol that, and they throw people out who still try to go in without their permits and everything, and fine them up to, what, $700 or something like that?
Get around.
They wanna know
We
who's
cached
in there.
some water, that's the old, I don't know, what is it?
Mining road.
Mining road. We started out coming around the bend there from down in the pass, and if you would go straight ahead down there, you'd go to Paria Canyon. This is going up the first thing, and then up where Scott is standing is where we cached our water. Because there's not 1 ounce of shade there anywhere.
And that's where the trail ends.
Yeah,
Yeah, there really wasn't a trail
yeah,
anywhere.
there is no trail now.
Yeah. And you have to look for a big black crack formation in a rock. And those are called the teepees on your way out there, but no trail, so you're just looking for this big black crack. And then you'll see a picture and you'll recognize it right away that that's the way we're supposed to aim for it. There it is, see the crack out there? Then you just aim for it and just keep that in view, and you have to climb up the cliff in front of it to get into the wave.
The hard part is coming back.
Yeah.
Oh, bad.
Oh, yeah.
Everything looks different coming back.
Take a cheap price.
We did take one.
Some of these pictures are Pat's, some are Becky's, some are Bruce's, some are mine. I just put them, a lot of them in. And walking, if you were to walk to the right, the lighter line down the bottom is the way we came in. And supposedly there's dinosaur tracks there too, but we didn't stop to look. And the place we came is the very far mountain in the distance. It's like a darker color. That's the cliff we had to climb up to get to the wave.
Are dinosaur tracks fresh?
Maybe a few years old fresh, yeah. Now, this is still getting to the wave. You think you're there and then you go around another bend. Now that's going into the wave, the real wave, the first wave. And when you get there, you're so euphoric that you just do stupid stuff as far as pictures go.
I don't see any signs. Were there any,
No,
did you have any kind of map or guidelines?
No.
No,
No?
they just sent a map, a little map, on top of a map here.
There were
With the,
a couple
permits.
of really discreet brown posts with
Yeah.
arrows on, but you had to have already found your way before you found the post.
So people sometimes got lost.
Yes.
Yeah, now this is the real wave, and then we posed for a picture in here. And that's why I bought the t-shirts that said waving from Coyote Buttes. That's
yeah.
Shelley. See, we're doing different poses and stuff. And it's not the camera's crooked there, that's the way it's formed.
So who took your picture?
We had tripod, and then people came up behind us
Timer.
and they offered to take some too. See, now we're waving. And Scott didn't have his shirt on. I was so mad at him. There's Shelley. This is everybody surfing at the wave. And this is just a little aside canyon from there. If you turn to the right at the end of that wave, that would take you to this little side canyon here. If you turn to the left, you go to another wave and then up around it to below that big black crack. And you'll see a lot of that. This is looking out of that little wave back to where we came from, that hill in the far distance, the dark one. And that's like the second wave. And we hiked up above that. And then all around up there. Another picture. And Becky held up the Columbia River reader, and that's the picture then that they put in the reader. It's just so big. I mean, it was about 9.5 miles round trip, and we spent 7.5 hours that day just being out there and getting there and back. This is above the wave now. And don't they look like some more waves, like sea foam or foamy waves. And that's all above where we came up. We sat in the only little shade and ate our lunch.
To me, the most miraculous thing there was actually some standing water left.
And
Our
actually,
feet there.
Shelley walked in the water with her bare feet. Now this, you get to one side and you get around here and it looks like a hamburger.
It sure does. Yeah.
The right time of the year, you have some green around, right at the bottom of the bun, it looks like lettuce on it. Some scrub grass or,
And from the other side, it just looks like a sawed-off rock. So we're walking out to the thing on the left there. It's a lot of fins, sandstone fins, and they call that Heaven's Gate. And it's really hard walking on there because you're at quite an angle, and those fins just break when you walk on them. Up above this whole area is an arch, and we were trying to figure out how to get up there, but it was so exhausted. Bruce tried anyway, and he didn't get there the way he was trying, and the people at the BLM office won't tell you how to get up there.
Now these stripes, they must represent so many million years?
Probably, yeah. It was probably really windy, and also the north rim of the Grand Canyon was a sea at one time. And then there was an uplift, a 1,000-foot uplift, and so some of this is the sandstone from that. One time when Eddie and I were there, that's Bruce, way in the distance. It looks like a little stick sticking up on the hillside. He's trying to get up to the arch. But one time when Eddie and I first went out here, we stepped on a fin and a piece broke off, just a little piece, and so he says, well, we may as well take it home because it's just going to deteriorate here. By the time I got home to the parking lot, back to the car, there was nothing but sand in his pocket. That's how it just breaks down. That's why they only let 10 people a day on the internet and 10 people from the day before it got. There's the arch up there. And that's that black crack. Supposedly when you get up there, you can see 3 different arches.
So you never did.
But Eddie and I were told that when you get up top of the wave and you go over toward the hamburger, you're supposed to keep going and then swing up and around to the left and get up to the arches, but Bruce tried it from the front. Now that's looking out when we're ready to go again to head back. And that black hill in the distance is where we gotta go. And I was carrying my camera, and Bill would know, but it probably weighed 15 pounds, the lenses and the camera, and Becky ended up carrying the lenses out. I was so long. That's heading back, and then that little peak there in that flat area is where the dino footprints are supposed to be.
How much of an elevation gain from the start up to where you think?
1,600 feet, it said on.
Well, that was up and down.
Yeah, up and down. Total elevation gain is 1,600 feet,
It was.
16 something.
But when I started trying for this permit, and nobody ever heard of it before from up here, and so I sparked Bruce's interest in it. And that everybody's tired here. But,
Yeah.
you know, when we got there, no, they just couldn't believe what they were seeing.
No, that's pretty.
Were there any snakes?
We didn't see any.
There's a dinosaur.
There is snakes there.
There are rattlers up there.
There's a lizard. Oh, I bet there is.
Yeah,
So those footprints, what are they?
some kind of little lizard.
Like a bird.
And then maybe a raccoon or something going on. That's going back down to the wash.
Those are snake footprints.
Do they take tour people, a tour group in there, or is it always?
No, you're on your own. That's going back down, and you have to sign out when you get back to the parking lot. Because if you don't, then they go in and look, they have to find everybody.
The remnants. It's probably why they don't want to let people in there. They don't know who the hell's in there.
But if you were to go to the right on that bar pass down there, you would go to the Paria Canyon, and there's a hike that you probably see pictures where people go, and it takes 7 days to get through to the Colorado River. This is going out to Toroweep, and it's pronounced and spelled two different ways, but that's going out to the north rim of the Grand Canyon, where the north rim and south rim are only a mile apart. That's the closest they are at the, and it's a 61-mile dirt road, and you need a four-wheel drive.
One of the times we went out there, we camped right out there at the parking lot, went to 27 degrees at night. In the afternoon, it went to 105.
That was for the wave.
Yeah, that was when we went to the wave,
Yeah,
one of the times. So,
yeah.
big temperature
I
swings.
never thought I was gonna make it out that time. It was 105 and the sun was beating on us. I drank all the water in my Camelback. That's my Arizona friends. This is out at the Toroweep at the North Rim. When we were going to, got the permit for the wave, Bruce kept saying, I know we're gonna get lost. What if we get lost? I know, I'm so worried about getting lost. I said, Bruce, I've been there 3 times before. It's embedded in my brain. We won't get lost.
But he
I don't
said
think
that
he didn't trust me. Because I'm a weekday hiker.
Were those the only wild
No, this
animals you saw?
is Vulcan's Throne. That's a volcano, a cinder cone that erupted in the Uinkaret volcanic field, and it crossed the river. It's lava flow going on into the Colorado River, and you can see those rapids. That's Lava Falls, and that's the highest rapids in the canyon. It's 14.4 foot drop. But that's how close you are with the north and south rim. Wow. You can hike down there, but they don't, and there is somewhat of a trail, but they don't recommend it because it's such loose rock. That's Becky and Pat and Bruce taking it all in. You can see other lava flows going down. Those lava flows dammed up the Colorado River a million or so years ago, and the water backed all the way into northern Utah, and then erosion finally opened it back up again. There's a little delta on the right down in the river, the Colorado there. That's where Havasupai, where all those travertine formations are. That's where it comes out and meets the Colorado River. There's Becky sitting on the ledge.
That's scary.
3,000-foot drop. Vertical drop.
Parachute.
There's the North Rim and the South Rim and another cinder cone. It was a very active volcanic area. That's the outhouse. Room with a view.
Yeah.
And that's the only shade. There was a little picnic table there. That's where we ate our lunch. And there's a campground there. You can go out there and camp. And
There's a lot
my
there.
friends from Arizona want to go back there maybe next year and camp and then try to climb Vulcan's Throne, that volcano that's sitting on the edge. We were thinking about trying to do that, but it was too much for a day after all that driving and everything.
That's cool.
Sweet.
Century, I think, is 100 years.
Century.
No, their century plants means they stand tall, but people think they live
I
on,
was always told it was 100 years.
Yeah. That's why it's out with an S
yeah.
instead of a C.
That's a little arch that we could actually walk up and we had to stoop down to take the picture of it.
That's a 60-mile dirt road each way
Yeah.
to get out there.
This is heading back.
There's some antelope,
Yeah.
or
Pronghorn.
pronghorns, antelope.
I think they're pronghorn.
You
Pronghorn.
can't Subaru, 120 miles on dirt road.
Not really.
You'll see the dirt road. I have a picture of it near the end of this. There. That's the road.
Wow, it's a beauty.
We got hung up once and
Yeah, I
had
got
it
stuck in
back, had it
that.
back down again and try a different approach.
I think it took 3 hours to get out there.
No, this is afterwards when we had
Yeah.
dinner. Look at the sunburn.
Yeah. Nice.
Some tired hikers.
This is back in Salt Lake when we were heading home. The mountains there were just gorgeous with snow on them.
It's about 100 miles north of the wave is where this is. So, contrasted weather.
It's like avalanche.
Coming home, where did we stay? This is Mount Hood. This is about near the end of it. It's about So coming home, where did we stay? Ontario? Ontario. We drove from Kanab, Utah to Ontario on the way home. So that's it.
Beautiful.